We got a lot of stuff we're going to get into in today's show, including the different kind of folks that were at Jeff Epstein's island, what happened with them. The Clintons, both Hillary and Bill, had their depositions. They faced some questions from some politicians. Very, very interesting stuff. We'll get into that as well. There's a mayor of a small town in Louisiana who has been arrested and indicted for having sex with a 16-year-old at a pool party at her house, and then she was caught by her own teenage son who saw her sleeping with his friend. Weird stuff going on. We're also going to talk about who are the actual GOATs in terms of hip-hop moguls. We talk about this all the time, the Jay-Z's, the Diddy's, the Babies, the Dr. Dre's. Dame Dash says, I might be the last one standing. I've been telling y'all for a little while about the show called Crime in Progress.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you watched it yet.
No.
I know I put P on.
What station?
It comes on A&E, and it's called Crime in Progress.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Well, you got to have A&E, like, because I don't watch TV. Is that a channel of its own?
Yeah, everything got it like its own individual stuff now, but it's also on cable too. But A&E, that's a channel that show like First 48 and all them kind of police shows for real. This is just another one.
Okay.
But it's called Crime in Progress. And the premise of it is they go through these whole cases as though it's kind of like unraveling live in real time, but all through the lens of body cam footage from the officers or dashboard cam footage from the squad cars, right? And the first episode was insanely wild. But it was a brother in this case. The criminal that they was after, the offender they was after was a black man, and he needed to be off the streets. I ain't gonna get into the details in case anybody want to watch it, but he needed to be off the streets. Mm-hmm. The show was insane. So I'm like, dang, it's gonna be another one of these shows with all these black people doing wild stuff. It ain't been a brother or a sister on the show since. These white folks be going crazy. Since their first episode, I think they're on episode like 9 now, mm-hmm. or 10. Sons didn't murder the daddy. Husband didn't beat the wife to death with his bare hands. Daughter didn't kill the son. Other son didn't kill the mama. Left them both in the crib for days at a time. Then shot it out with the police. Random white girl killed all 3 of her elderly roommates that she just randomly lived with in a house somewhere for no reason.
How do you have elderly roommates?
It was weird. It just be crazy stuff happening.
So many reasons.
Yeah, mental health reasons, financial reasons. But it'd be crazy, that kind of crazy stuff, and it'd be like rural Ohio, like it'd be white.
That's America, G.
I know, but the stories be like, wait, what? Insane stuff that just be going on. And what I've noticed of it is not only the crazy crimes that these white people be committing, but the white privilege that is involved with the cases. One time, white boy, man, 19 years old, he pull up on a homeless dude, stab him just because he saw him. Just because he saw the homeless man. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. Hit a U, he went back, stabbed the man in the neck, cut his body up, threw it all over the street, dumped the body in the car in the river. Right? Police come find out. Because his mama called the police. Like, I just found a head in my son's closet. Can y'all come over here? While the police over there, buddy pulled it back up to the crib. They're like, hey, your mom's called. But they put him in, they talking to him so regular, they put him in the car, no cuffs, no nothing. Like, insane. The show is crazy. Y'all need to watch it. It'd be a lot of wild stuff. But the privilege.
What would you do if you came home and you found a head in your son's closet? Would the police be your first call?
No. However, finding a head in your son's closet is not the first time you knew you was raising a sociopath. You know what I'm saying?
I think the police would be my first call too. I'd be scared of his ass.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. He didn't already strangle a dog or something. He didn't already pinch the baby. Like he didn't. He's done some stuff for no reason. Like you didn't just. His first sign of being an absolute psycho was not when you found the head in his closet. He's 19. But y'all been knew this boy was crazy.
You can't give up on your kids even though they're psycho. You got to find the head first.
You got to wait to the head?
Yeah, you got to find the head first.
Nah, man, it's
all the parents in here. What do you think? Can you give up on your kid before you find the head? You got to find the head first. You have to.
I'm saying it's signs before you find the head.
Even if he got the signs, even if you strangled a puppy, you're my child. I still love you. Fuck that puppy.
Like I always say, I defer to y'all parents. I'm the only one in here that's not a parent, so I will always defer to y'all.
I said it. I did it. I got
y'all telling me the head is the first thing?
I found the head. I'm calling the police.
I found the head. I'm calling the police. I'm scared.
But that's by that point. I lost control.
You still lost control.
I lost control.
Your secret is no longer safe for me.
No longer a secret. But the puppy though, we good. We ain't good, but you know something's wrong. But I ain't snitching.
Yeah, I ain't saying you gotta call animal control on the puppy, but you know, Buddy is.
But that's crazy though. It would almost have to be the head. The head would have to be the barometer to call the police.
I low key don't even know if I would call the police if I found the head on my child.
I'm snitching on the head, G.
I don't know. I might have to ask first, like.
What they do?
Who you asking? Who do you ask though?
The child.
Whose head is that?
Kill you then.
No, my first question is like, whose head is that?
Whose head? I'm
not asking no questions about the head. Once we get the head, I'm calling first 48.
Two in there like, what you want for lunch?
No, right. Yeah. Hurry up, Peace. Hurry up. Let's get here. I live a Hannibal Lecter. But anything before the head, we good.
Yeah, I don't know. Because part of me is really with E. Like, if I found the head, I still don't know that I'm sending you up the river about this. But what I am saying is that before I found the head, I knew you was back.
My question to y'all though, I'm with P. When y'all found the head, there's no longer a discussion. He's going to kill you. Unless you prepare to chop his head off, you're dead. I got to call somebody else who's better prepared to deal with this.
They had another buddy.
It's so many reasons.
They had another buddy. He done sliced and diced his best friend up in the crib, jugged him up like 40-something times, put him in the trunk, drove him to a deserted location. They called they go to the buddy house like, hey, your friend, he's been gone for a couple of days. Last place we knew, we tracked the last place he was here. He was like, he was here, man. He got drunk, threw up, passed out. I went to sleep. I woke up. He was gone.
Well, I just stabbed him 72 times.
Police like, he was gone. They're like, yeah, he was gone. He was like, Like, can we come in and take a look? Yeah, go ahead and take a look. But they're talking to him. He just standing there like, rego. No detain, no sit down, just talking to him. They get upstairs. This blood splatter everywhere.
My question is, why you let him in? You know you did it.
Because he's white. He thought he cleaned it up. But it's all kind of splattered and all this stuff. And so he's like, man, don't that look like blood to you? He hit it down the street, dip on their goofy ass.
So let him in and then run. I don't get it.
He hit it. So he gone. He get away from him in his neighborhood.
So
they get away.
Reasons.
His parents pull up. They like, what's going on? Y'all said y'all was at our house for something? He's like, yeah, we think your son murked his best friend. He's like, he murked Jason? I'm like, yeah, Jason's dead. We think so. So dad like cooperating for a minute.
It's just Wednesday.
But then the dad like, wait, y'all saying my son did it? He like, yeah, so you still gonna let us see that phone? He like, I don't think I'm gonna let you see the phone no more. I just think I'm gonna call a lawyer.
There's a old black man on like Instagram or something. He's having an interview and it's circulating right now.
Yeah. And
the interviewer said something to the old black man. He was like, man, you call white people devils. The old black man said, yeah, I do. He said, well, why you call them devils? He said, well, until you show me somebody who's worse than them, they my devil.
Nah, I
said, well, you know what? I could rock with that. I can rock with that. To the point you just made about the father, though. Yeah. There's another documentary on Netflix I watched years ago. It's about this like cult leader who was serial raping people, right? And murdering them, right?
Yeah.
He raped like a family.
Yeah.
Right? Like he raped the daughter, he raped the mama.
Yeah.
Well, let me not say raped. They use the word rape, but in like in white world, he's kind of having relationships with these people.
Yeah.
Like he had a long-lasting relationship with the mama, a long-lasting relationship with the daughter.
Yeah.
The daddy knew he was having sex with both parties.
Yeah.
And they was like, well, why do you let this go on for so long? And he was like, well, I was having sex with him too. They're different.
Different kinds of folks, man. Different kinds of folks. Thank y'all so much for choosing to be here. This is Herb and Tou. Is where we get together and talk about issues that currently impact the black community, how those issues impact us individually, also how they impact us as a collective. Along with your help, we talk through these issues, trying to find the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said people eaters. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, share the show, set the alerts so you get reminders every time we drop new content. We would greatly appreciate you doing those things. Again, this is Herb and Tou. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Tou. Tou, what's happening, good brother?
Man, I'm a decent man from the city of demons.
Yeah.
So much senseless violence for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Mental health reasons.
Yep.
Financial reasons.
Yep.
I'm just trying to survive it, cuz.
That'll do it. Let's get into it, man. Let's start with the former first family, former president, former two-term president, and then former presidential candidate. Bill and Hillary Clinton were both deposed for their alleged involvement or knowledge of the Epstein Island and the goings on of said island or at said island. Mm-hmm. Hillary Clinton was first to have her deposition. Mm-hmm. She was deposed the day before Bill was, and they questioned her like, how did you feel when you saw pictures of your husband getting massages from underage girls? Hillary was like, bitch, why you ask me? I didn't do it. Like, why you asking me that? Like, ask him. He'll be here tomorrow. I thought Hillary handled herself like a certified gangster, straight out of NWA or something. Like,
so even before they was deposed, they asked to be. Mm-hmm. Right? And I was like, well, damn, everybody knows his name is in the files. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, like, how do you do that?
Got to get out in front of it. That's all you can do.
For me, it's even bigger than getting out in front of it, right? Like, for me, I was like, man, maybe they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Mm-hmm. Like, that could be a real thing, right? We got a president that's just, bombed 9 countries in less than, a full year, right? So,
have you seen the playback videos from him in like 24 when he like, or even like in 21?
I'm gonna be the peace president.
I'm gonna be the peace president. I'm gonna end all the wars. I'm gonna get us out of all the wars, and boy.
But yeah, man, I seen them. But to the Clintons though, like legitimately, I thought it was like, I had some self-sacrifice for the greater good, maybe, because I can't see you navigating what I know this conversation has to be.
Yeah.
And then I thought, this is a high-level hearing, right? This is an ex-president, right?
Yeah.
One, I'm gonna say this. Hillary Clinton, the way she's handling that deposition is like watching art.
Yeah.
Right? It's a
delicate dance.
It's a delicate dance, and she's very well versed in how to have these conversations. We laugh at it, but the little homie Woody from the YSL case,
delicate dance.
As insane as he sound, brilliant.
Yeah.
And how he dealt with those kind of questions. Hillary Clinton is operating from the other end of the spectrum, but still brilliant in how she's dealing with those questions.
We're throwing everything off.
Right. It's an art form. I watched, I was like, damn, you cold, G. That's what I left saying.
Yeah.
You cold, right? Yeah. She was able to speak her piece without implementing herself or her husband. Mm-hmm. Bill did very similar. He did the same thing. He wasn't as smooth as Hillary to me, but he did the same thing. Right?
That Parkinson's running up on him bad.
Well, some of it, you was there, nigga. You got to hold some of this. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then I had another thought.
I was going to spill that coffee several times.
Just listening to, like, the questions. And maybe I'm just not well versed in, like, or maybe I watched too much Law and Order or some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it didn't seem like it was that difficult to get out of. Even if we look at the Woody from the YSL trial. Mm-hmm. Right? The question, like some of the questions the lawyers was asking, I was like, word? It makes sense for him to answer in the way he was answering.
Yeah, I mean, all they can really ask at this point in terms of a deposition is what they heard in the files, which is, for lack of a better term, it's speculative, right? And so, hey, this person says you was on that island. Bill, like, I ain't never been to that island. So why would they say so? Then his lawyer, she in every rip. You asking his opinion on her opinion?
Right.
We're not gonna double opinion. We're not gonna do that.
Right. How would I know what Epstein thinks of me? I'm not Epstein.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it just was interesting to watch. But then there's another thought, right? We live in a country where 6 out of 10 people can't read above a 6th grade level.
Yeah.
Right. So
we can talk over everybody's head or talk circles around.
Yeah, like if you just could get the 8th grade, you win.
You straight.
You really win.
You straight.
You straight.
Hey, do you ever think about, and I know this conversation has been going around a little bit, but it's been on my mind a lot. You ever think about the special ed classes and the students?
No, I don't think about the special ed classes or the students.
Oh, listen to me.
I don't never had that thought. We can stop right there.
Me. You need to. Because after grammar school, and even into high school, there are no special ed classes. We all are now in the same class. And so you like, what did he just say? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But we forget that they get pushed out into the same society as us. They work in the jobs. They're here driving the car. So you riding around in your car like, this motherfucker is stupid. What is he doing? He is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is stupid. If this happened to you in the basement of your grammar school, down by the janitor's closet with no windows, you would just ignore it. Like, okay, that's them. But once we're all adults, we all out here. We all got keyboards and Twitters and Instagrams. We saying stuff. It's like, now I'm arguing with the person from the classroom in the basement down the hall. Like,
well, I always went to elite level schools. We didn't have special ed in there anyway. So
you went there.
That's my point. I went to elite level schools.
So you went to Dunbar.
We didn't have a special ed.
And got kicked out. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, but it's like we all just mixed into the same pot now, and it's like because of like social media, everybody has a voice and a platform, and it's like now I feel like you worthy of arguing with because you popped up in the comments, disregarding the fact that you probably used to eat crayons until you was like 16. Like,
yeah, man, Donald Trump. Yeah. I mean, we ain't got to really go that far. He openly says, I don't read. He openly says that, right? If you listen to his speeches or his conversations, it's almost like a child, right? I got up to word 5 to stay on task, and then I'm going to whatever my imagination takes me to.
Yeah.
Right? So even when he talks about anything of relevance, the first minute, it's a track.
That's tough.
I'm going to talk to I'm going to use words and talk to, and then after that, I'm just freestyling.
It's tough.
And when I freestyle, I'm talking about the bigly and the biggest and it's the best. Him doing the State of the Union last week, he left out there saying, I broke my own record. I spoke longer than anybody else, but about nothingness.
He also knows who he's preaching to. He's preaching to the choir.
Yeah, because he's preaching to the 6 who can't read.
Yeah. And that's a lot of the people. He's preaching to all those people in rural Ohio I was just talking about, doing the like it's. Man, I don't have to make sense to
in regards
appeal
to
y'all.
Leadership, in regards to a country, in regards to a business, in regards to whatever. Your greatest investment is always the people. That's the greatest investment. And if you're not making investing in those people, then whatever you get out of that is what you deserve out of that. And we have the president we deserve because we live in the country that we deserve to live in. We accept ignorance. I ask somebody all the time, I've said it here before.
We created.
But even y'all be calling me like, to the killjoy. Yeah. My question is, why the fuck is we always celebrating? What do we have to celebrate?
Yeah.
Right, so everybody's up for the party, nobody's up for the work. And there's work, you can't, until you do the work or accomplish something, there's no need to celebrate.
Yeah.
Our whole shit is gluttonous though. The whole American philosophy is just gluttonous.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a huge fan of hip hop. You just said we're gonna talk about the moguls later.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you start at the beginning of hip hop, right, trajectory was lessons. It was lessons in the words. Mm-hmm. Right? Part of the reason why I read so much today or why I have an affinity for books, not because of some shit I learned in school, it's because the shit they was talking about in hip hop, I ain't know about.
Right.
And then the cool shit was to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I find out about this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the music itself drove me to say, how do I learn more about this? Right? 10 years later, the only conversation is look what I'm wearing. Look at my jewelry. 10 years after that, it ain't even about what I'm saying at all. It's look at my Instagram. Right? We're legitimately in this phase right now where Tip and 50 are beefing. 50 is only going to push memes, and people in hip hop are saying, well, who's winning? What the fuck do you mean?
Winning what?
Winning what?
He's not creating any art.
And I can see and my argument is we let the inmates run the prison. If the youth or the young generation was having that conversation, all right, that's what y'all kind of come up on. Y'all come up on memes and meme culture.
Sure.
Right? Y'all don't even understand the impetus of hip hop. But this is a conversation that was happening on Joe Buttons.
Right.
Right? Everybody in the room was 50, and you are a product of real hip hop. Man, stop, dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sign of the times you live in, and I hear you on the conversation of, you know, what's important versus what's just fun. We was in the chat today. I was like, hey, we getting very, very deep in the politics. This should turn into a whole political show, which the times call for these types of conversations. But also, I'm like, we also have to entertain people, and the masses, right or wrong, aren't entertained by these political conversations, and we have to find that balance between informing and entertaining. And it's tough to do when there is such a need for real information. But if we just talking to me, you, and a few other people,
do we think those things have to be uniquely separate?
No, I don't think they have to be separate. I just think there has to be a balance that's struck on them. Like they have to be mixed in. They have to be artfully blended together in a way that makes it digestible. Otherwise, the average American will be like, yeah, that's over my head, or it's not interesting, or I just don't want to hear it for one reason or another. And is that fucked up? Yep. Is it the reality though? Absolutely.
I guess the greater question is like why and how though. Right? I look at it like this. Like I used to desire to have conversations with my elders. I still do to this day, because I'm gonna learn some shit. And not only am I gonna learn some shit, but it's also entertaining to me. Right? I love when beats come in here and talk to us.
Yeah, me too.
Right? And it's thoughtful, but it's also engaging. It's also interesting. I don't know if that's based on my makeup or if that's the design. Right? So I think you have to push away from the table and not taste the food to have the opinion of this is only entertainment. Right? It's like getting to the table saying, I don't like this, but you ain't tried it.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I don't necessarily see the disconnect. I think art is smart. I also think art is entertaining. Like, and I say art. Hip hop is a great example. Right? I could name off groups. We just talked about Flav the other day. We was laughing and joking about Flav.
Yeah, we got to talk about Flav today.
Flav is amazing.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know how fucking amazing Flav was.
Yeah, because
right?
you can't see through the costume.
Because you can't see through the costume. But my point is, Flav was part of a group called Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Right? We had Poor Righteous Teachers. We had Grand Poobah. These was like the stars of hip hop. Yeah. Right? They was talking about Marcus Garvey. They was talking about the 5%ers. The 5%ers ain't no shit that Chicago know about, but everything Chicago know about, call me at the God hour, son. That's some 5%er shit. Right? But you hear that through the music. Right? And if you hear it through the music, because the music is the cool shit, it propelled you to want to know.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I never separated the fact that this was entertainment. But in that entertainment, it led me to want information. I don't understand why those two have to be like so uniquely separate in the way that they are.
Yeah, but look at how you talk about yourself on the regular though, right? Like no funny shit. You talk about yourself as this elite, elevated thinker.
I don't do that.
Thanks for listening to the show, man.
I don't do that though. I am an elite, elevated thinker, but I don't talk about myself in that way.
All right. So the co-host of this show,
fucking dummies,
other than me, talks about himself as an elite, elevated thinker.
Yeah, we got to get him on one day.
Yeah, we should. By that standard, he would be amongst the top percentile of Americans. Therefore, he would have to understand that thought process or that level of thinking or that ideology does not expand across the entirety of the American population, right? And so it becomes somehow necessary to entertain. And I think that happens with anything. You put on SportsCenter, right? Stuart Scott was the greatest to ever do it because he entertained while also giving you the information. Anybody can get up there and be like, such and such had 20 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. The final score was 93 to 88. The next game, so-and-so had 20. Anybody could do that part of it, right? But can you also entertain while you're giving that information? Stuart Scott is also going to tell you the score and the main statistical people, and like you're going to get all of that. But it's going to be done in a way that's entertaining. And I think there has to be this artful blend to capture or captivate the audience.
So I'm gonna push back in this sense, though. I fuck with Stuart Scott heavily, right? But the difference between how you made that analogy and the way I'm talking about it is that you're right. Anybody can get up there and recant or recite, right? That's just what that is. It's recanting or reciting.
Sure.
It's like an artist who sees, it's like when you're young and you're drawing comic book characters. All you're doing is illustrating what somebody else's creation is. It's the person who created it who leveraged the thought process.
Sure.
You're just mimicking whatever their thought process is.
Sure.
Right? So what I'm saying is that in the depths of understanding, even when somebody understands sports in a certain kind of way, I love listening to Gil talk about basketball. When Gil Arenas talks about basketball, as silly as Gil is, Gil knows basketball at a level that most people don't know it.
No doubt.
Right? And he'll say something, you be like, you was at that shit and didn't realize the shit that he recognized because he sees it differently. All thoughtful and entertaining. But it's the thoughtful part that is what I'm saying. Is like,
valuable.
why do we separate ourselves from the thoughtful part?
Yeah.
I don't go to hear Gil talk crazy all the time.
Yeah.
But Gil, everybody on the show talks crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tune in for everybody on the show. I'm going to tune in because Gil says some shit like, damn, I never thought of it like that. Right? And that's the value of intellect. It's going to bring new ideas to the forefront. We separate the two, i.e. why I can't sit down and watch no fucking Tyler Perry or the dumbing down of every fucking thing.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Let's put some finishing thoughts on this Clinton deposition thing.
Hillary's a gangster.
She is.
Period. I fuck with it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
She is.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The blue suit, the hair, the style, the laughing at your measly questions. I loved it all.
I think Hillary has been a gangster throughout her political career, I'll call it, right? I stood by you as your wife, as you elevated through the ranks from Arkansas all the way to Pennsylvania Avenue. Then your goofy ass get in there and you're getting domed off and get caught getting domed off by your secretary.
He was getting domed off before he got there. She knew what it was.
Yeah, but I said you got caught getting domed off by your secretary, right? Hillary, like, I'm not dipping on that. I'm not changing my name from that. I'm still going to use it as a springboard because I'm going to be the first woman president of the United States of America. That's her thought process. That's her trajectory that she felt she was on. And came close to it, except in her mind, and a lot of people's mind, Barack jumped the line and cut off. So, okay, cool. She doesn't stop after that. She continues. Secretary of State. She built her own international network of world leaders. And she just continues to do her own thing. She's very intelligent. She's very thoughtful. She is unflappable.
And she's from the crib. Not Chicago, but Illinois, right? But I ain't gonna lie to you and say I rock with the Clintons. I don't.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I don't rock with the Clintons.
But I do respect how the woman moves.
Yeah, and I respect how she moved in this moment. There was one part, though, that was hilarious to me with Bill, not Hillary. So they was like, Bill, do you, I don't know how they worded it, but basically, do you like underage girls? He was like, no, that's beneath me. And then they was like, well, what about interns? Are they underage? He was like, well, yeah.
What about Monica? Looking at us.
So many reasons. Mental health reasons.
No, they talked him in a circle on that because he
get caught with that one.
That's not true. I don't like young girls. Like, what do you mean we say young girls? Like, I mean anybody younger than me. Like, our interns younger?
Interns young? Well, you got me on that one. Touche. You got me.
I didn't have sexual relations with that woman.
That was funny to me.
Wild business. Let's move along to the mayor, or should I say former mayor of, I want to get this town right, former mayor of the River.
Bumfuck, Louisiana.
basically. DeRidder, Louisiana, 43-year-old Misty Roberts has been arrested, indicted, charged with.
It's always a Misty.
Yeah.
You ever dealt with a white girl in your life?
Yeah.
I never dealt with one per se, but the one close encounter was a Misty. It's always a Misty. They're from the trailers.
Misty does Minnesota.
Misty does Louisiana.
43 years old. She's been charged having sex with a 16-year-old. What's also interesting about this case is that she was caught having sex by her son, her own teenage son, who is friends with the boy that the mom was having sex with.
As a teenage boy, who you mad at more? The mama or the homie?
Oh, if I'm the boy that had sex with Misty, I'm pissed at my homie.
You the homie?
Why you snitching on me, bro?
No, I'm saying the son of Misty. I caught you nailing, body.
You got to be mad at your mama.
You just mad at your mama?
Yeah.
I don't know. The homie got to catch these hands, G. You mad? You nailed my mama, folks? We got a problem, G.
Your mama a busser.
Even if my mama a busser, you got to have more respect for my mama.
And as white women go, she was decent. If I was a 16-year-old boy, I'd have been proud. Now, I know we view these things through two different lenses. If that's a 16-year-old girl and a 43-year-old man, everybody's raising hell, and rightfully so. As boys, we don't grow up with the same grace. Nobody cared when P was getting sexually assaulted his whole childhood. It's like whatever.
That's true. Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. P still coming here sad about it. He was like, P, knock it off. The lady let you play with her titties.
They gave up on P years ago.
Like, knock it off, P. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just titties.
I played with titties when I was 12.
Play with titties.
Knock it off,
funny,
P.
though. It's not funny.
It's not. But that's what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying?
On another note, though, this is just seemingly what white people do.
Yeah.
This is just what they do. At some point, you just got to accept it. If it's not about my people, hey, I'm just going to let y'all deal with y'all people.
Yeah.
That's what y'all do. White, young, woman, man, it don't matter.
They said they had they presented evidence in the case. They had a picture of Misty at the pool party with the kids with a bikini on. She's standing up over the boy while he in the pool, and he's looking up at her, smiling his face off like,
wait till tonight, Misty.
Can you put Jacob to bed, please?
I want to see if you can give me that rusty trombone.
Miss Roberts. That's wild, man. We'll see what comes. We'll see what comes
when Misty does Louisiana
from that, man.
I see something already. It says, she's already been found guilty of having sex with teen while serving as DeRidder mayor. So 4 hours ago, she was.
Oh, they convicted her today,
found
huh?
guilty. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This ain't a new story though, man. There's a whole bunch of them stories.
Nah, it's not.
You know. Again, like I said, this is obviously the makeup. This is what we do.
When I was growing up, the girl I lost my virginity to when I was in 7th grade. She was also in 7th grade. But if I knew what I knew now, I'd have hit her mama. Her mama was a buster. My mind wasn't working the same way at 13. So, like, she would come home. First of all, you come home, your 13-year-old daughter's in the crib with like 5, 6 boys. And she would just be like, hi, boys, and keep it pushing. Sometimes, one time in particular, she comes in, hi, boys, upstairs, back downstairs, bra, panties, right to the kitchen, walk past us like, you know what I mean? We like, what? Should have been hitting the mamas all the time.
We could have let the story live with Misty. Now you bring it into black people's households. I was going to say this was a white behavior. You messing it up for everybody.
We already talked about P.
Stop snitching.
We already.
We don't know if P's titties was white or black. We don't know what that was.
Yes, we do.
P, what were they? Brown. They were Hispanic titties.
Did they have areolas or not?
They were brown.
They were brown.
Areolas.
P had a nanny. Maria.
We got to talk about the war in Iran.
Do we though?
A little bit. It's kicked off. America been airstriking and bombing. They also got soldiers on the ground. So far, one of the more egregious things that have come out is they bombed a school with a bunch of girls in it, killed dozens of them, injured dozens more. This thing is insane. What's crazy is the direct line of what you see. Trump and his administration are moving at warp speed with no real regard for how trackable their movements are in terms of the conspiracy that's going on. Y'all go through Venezuela. Boom. Kick it off with them. Take all the oil. Right? Now y'all kick off a war with Iran. It's like, if you're going to go to Iran and kick it off with them, which we know there's oil there, we got to make sure they don't have Venezuela to fall back on another. We got to destabilize the whole market, so to speak. Obviously, the whole Israel situation, we get that part of it. But he done walked us into what could potentially turn into an actual world war. And you had mentioned that, what did they was calling it, the Peace Fellows, whatever. No, not the Peace Fellow. I don't even want to mix that up. I'm just playing with that. But
the Peace Board.
The Peace Board. And the $10 billion of American tax dollars that they took to fund that. And then right away, they bombing shit.
So I'm going to say this, right? And I don't want to talk about it in this context, right? Mm-hmm. One, I'm just tired, and there's so much happening that's rapid, and I don't want to talk about it until I fully understand the scope and the depth, right? Mm-hmm. At some levels, because Trump is so wayward, and so simple, again, like I said, like a child, the way I see it is that he's being manipulated to find value wherever he can find value. Mm-hmm. Madani, what's my man's name? The one in New York, Madani. He came to see Trump a couple weeks ago, bought him some magazines and kind of, glazed his balls a little bit and walked about there with a whole bunch of money for New York public house. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker that he was shitting on 2 months ago. Yeah. Right? Yeah. In his first term, you saw him praising Putin. Mm-hmm. Putin glazed his balls a little bit, or made him feel like, because I'm Putin, you can stand next to me and I'm powerful, you're like me. Right? So he falls in line. We was like, Israel, we understand, but I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Right? But what I do know, though, is that what Trump is doing in a lot of these instances is Netanyahu's bidding. But he's doing it without any consequence or any understanding of consequence.
He's just moving.
Right? It's like a game of Call of Duty or some shit. You know what I mean? And there's no consequence to him. No. It's not his child that's going to have to go over there to die. It's not him. He's had no consequence thus far because the Supreme Court is impotent, and he's made them impotent.
Never heard a U.S. president speak so casually about the impending loss of American lives because of a decision you made.
But one of the things I want to do, what I do want to speak to about the Iranian bombing, is that they killed the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, if that's how you say the name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But we don't have context, right? The last war fought on this soil was the fucking Civil War. We don't have context, right? So in a lot of ways, war is like a video game because it's happening over there. Right. I see it on the screen. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Consciously and cognitively, you're not a part of that.
No, the closest living Americans have ever gotten to war, most of them, is like the movies that we see, Private Ryan's or American Sniper or whatever.
And even how he talks about shit. I heard him the other day, this is Operation Golden Hammer. Yeah. Man, shut the fuck up. Right?
These boys finna go die.
They about to go die.
There's a video of a U.S. fighter pilot.
I saw it.
Running from a missile that got launched to him.
But even that, I got a problem with that.
He's very talented, too.
But that's why I got a problem with that. But that's part of that game character shit. Mm-hmm. Watch this motherfucker dodge 500 bullets. Mm-hmm. Well, he's 1 in 5,000. Mm-hmm. Most motherfuckers ain't gonna dodge 500 bullets. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? But they giving you this imagery that makes this some heroic ass shit. Yeah. And in a country where only 4 out of 10 motherfuckers can read, it makes you feel like I'm powerful being involved in. It's like a movie.
Yeah, they had that rocket on tracker and it's heat seeking and it was on its heels and he
the pilot was
that bitch upside down and then he shot up about 10,000 feet, Like, he was cold as hell because that missile was on his ass.
But what I want to speak to though is them killing Ali Khamenei. How you say the name, right? We don't have context, right? That is a religious country, and religion means something very different than what it means here.
Sure.
And in context, the way they see him is he's next to God, right? It's like the president ain't as powerful as him.
Right.
You know what I mean? The leader ain't as powerful. He's the supreme leader.
This is that.
And it's whoever God is after that, Allah.
This is that.
Right? So in that vein, they responded. In less than 48 hours, they bombed 2 U.S. sites.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact and how technology works, we're going to start experiencing on this soil actions. It's going to happen, right? Now, here's my larger problem, and again, I don't want to stay here, right? I got a son who's 20 years old, right? The draft, per my understanding, doesn't get cut off until 40, right? I do not have any faith in this president as to believe
not implementing the draft.
He will not reinstate and implement the draft. I also think partially a lot of this is about making the country so unstable that we can't have midterms. Yeah. We expected this for his fake third term election.
You talking midterm?
I'm talking midterms. I'm talking November.
You're talking about right now.
I'm talking right now. I'm preparing the country to be so fucking unstable right now that you can't do shit. That's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought, man. Since you mentioned, the supreme leader and what that means to their people and their land, it made me think about the unrest that's happening in Mexico too, because the CIA had a hand in it, and then their government killed the leader of one of the most powerful cartels. And if you know even a little bit about Mexican cartels and Mexico and their relationship therein, you got issues, bro. And the cartel is responding as the cartel would, and they are sending it up. And there's a lot of joking about, whether or not Americans should be going over there to vacation, because Mexico is probably the most utilized vacation destination for Americans. It's right. It's a hop, a skip, and a jump. People go down there, get some sun and some pools, and be cool. But I don't know about at this very moment, Joe, because it's cracking. And some people saying that's not cracking, and some people joking like, man, y'all talking about y'all ain't going down there, man. I just got this swim out room for $2.78 for the week.
Stuck down there right now.
Yeah, I know it's cracking.
Right. But I just had another thought though as you was talking though, right? If we think about the power of the cartel in Mexico, then we think of the power of the church in Iran.
Sure.
Both of these countries have governments, but the power is in the hands of the cartel.
You better believe it.
And the power is in the hand of the church.
You better believe it.
You know what I mean? Even though both of these countries have governments, and then we look at our country and the power is in the hand of the government. All I'm saying though, in both contexts, the people in Iran are afraid of the church, right? The people in Mexico are afraid of the cartel. The people in America are afraid of the government.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they are essentially, quote unquote, working on our behalf. How do you be afraid of what is supposed to be in favor of you?
Because it don't work for us. But you go back to, we quote Jeff Ford all the time. And, his televised warning, I won't say threat, his televised warning to the Chicago Police Department that ain't gonna be no killing without killing. Well, in Mexico, that is legit. They can get rid of the Jeff Fords of the world in America. Over there, we mean that shit. Y'all kill us, we gonna kill y'all. We talking about government, we talking about whoever. Like, it's up like that. But they run it that way, man. I may have told the story before. I'll try to tell it quickly. I used to work with this dude, this Mexican cat, super cool cat, real soft-spoken, not a guy who make up stories and no shit like that. But he's a Mexican dude. He would always go home during the summer and kick it with his people. He comes back from the crib in the summer one time. He tells me, hey, man, I don't know when the next time I'm going home because it's insane. He said him and his people was riding down the road, a bit of a desolate road in they truck. So as we ride down the road in the truck, Another truck speed up alongside of us, cut us off. Skirt. Cut them off, hop out, AKs, snatch them out the truck, take their truck and peel off. Leave them sitting on the side of the road looking dumb as hell, like, what just happened, right? He said, we sit on the side of the road like 5 minutes. Another truck speeds up. Some more guys hop out, AKs, ask them, what are y'all doing right here? And he like, man, we just got robbed and we just sit on the side of the road because they just came and took our truck. They like, somebody took y'all truck right here? He like, yeah, right here, like 5 minutes ago. And he like, the other dude's like, okay, wait right here. We'll be right back. Hop back in their truck and speed off. He said we sitting out there about 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, the second truck that pulled up comes back, and they also have their truck that got stolen from them behind them. Pull up. He said they pull up, hop out, pop the back of their own truck, pull out a head, hold up the head to them like, hey, was this one of the dudes that robbed you? And they like, what the? He like, yeah, that was one of the dudes. So he threw the head down and said, we the only people that rob people around here. Nobody else got no business robbing you around here. Gave them their truck back and told them to go on about their business. They run their own shit out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different type of situation. So I won't be there until they figure out who the new leader is and they get back running like they used to. So they start moving bricks and everything like they're supposed to. I won't be over there. How you feel about Ayisha Diaz?
In what capacity are we asking?
How fast?
So many reasons.
Do you think she's attractive?
Mental health reasons. Financial reasons.
Do you think she's attractive?
Ayisha Diaz is bad. That's one of Boog's favorites. She gets to the group chat a lot.
I'd imagine she does.
Right? Not one of my favorites per se. My favorite is the chocolate one I sent you earlier today. That one is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't say her name right, so I'm not gonna butcher it. But
yeah,
but anyway, yeah, Ayisha Diaz fine.
Yeah. She fits the bill. But it's an expensive bill.
Hugely, bigly.
She says
So many reasons.
one, you gotta maintain my current lifestyle. And then on top of that, you gotta hit me with 40 to 50,000 cash per month if you want to date me.
And that's all just in case you leave. I got to be secure enough to have not only my bills paid, but security or how I'm going to make my next move. Now, the statement that she made is whatever the statement that she made.
Yeah.
The only reason this conversation even was like remotely interesting to me is because they were discussing it on the Joe Budden's podcast. And Imani brought up the fact that, like, they said we know her, so we don't want to disgrace her, right? But this is part of the conversation I've had on here several times.
Yeah.
Let's just call the thing what it is.
Uh-huh.
She's a whore. She's a prostitute. And that's what you choose, that's fine. But I watched them Negroes debate whether or not she was a prostitute. And they left saying, well, no, she's not a prostitute because in this world, this is common. What world is that? I'd like to know.
So I feel you on that piece, and I'm cool with it. You know, I'm much more liberal on these topics than you are.
I don't know how there's a liberal or conservative concept around definitions of words.
I'm not even arguing the definition. I'm just saying, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a prostitute.
Cool. What I am saying, though, and here's my problem with the whole conversation, right? Ayisha Diaz, one thing. You go in the comments of these conversations and these posts.
Keisha Johnson ain't the same thing.
She's under the same act talking crazy.
She's under the same act talking crazy.
You don't know nobody with $40,000 a month. Let alone they gonna give it to you. Let alone you're worth it. Let alone, like, knock it off. Ayisha Diaz got ample millionaires and I think a billionaire or two on her resume. That's her life. That's
Bow Wow said he knelt it for free. I'm just saying. That's what Bow Wow said.
define free.
Well, that's true too.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because you flying all over the world, you taking her to the most exclusive resorts, you taking her to the Michelin restaurants, you buying her this, like define free.
I think it's a funny conversation. I thought it was funny because they was debating whether or not this is prostitution.
Yeah.
Right? But part of what Imani brought up and why he was having the conversation was what you was talking about, the ladies in the comments, and he's dating and he's young. He's like, man, this is my experience I had. There are these kind of expectations, right? Not necessarily 40,000, but even the concept of you got to pay for my time.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care if it's $35. If you think I got to pay for your time, then we're not on the same plane.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I don't like that kind of direct transaction. Like I don't like you viewing me that way. Right. Not to say, talking about paying for dinner or a trip or whatever. Right. But you talking about you have to pay me to be here with you.
To spend time.
Knock it off. Who do you think I am? Like, why do you think my time is so invaluable in and of itself?
It's so interesting that's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? One, I don't think the vast majority of us know what it costs to be an adult in America.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Secondly, I read a stat today. Because I know other than comments, there was Keisha's and Maria's. That's who was under them comments. Keisha's and Maria's. You understand me?
Misty wasn't there?
Misty was not under them comments. You hear what I'm telling you? It was Keisha's and Maria's, right? And the reason that's interesting to me, because I read a stat today that said 80% of black households is held up by the woman.
Yeah.
That's not
the mother's the breadwinner.
Lived experience.
Okay. I feel that. I'm saying, yeah, I don't even have nothing. I don't really have I don't have a dispute to that, right? Because I think, first of all, I think that is a lot of people's realities in the black community. I don't know if this 80% is an accurate number. That seems grossly overestimated.
I don't know. I don't know if I feel like that.
Like what?
Like 80% is grossly overestimated.
You think that's the truth number?
Y'all over there, what y'all think? 80% as an estimate of black-led households led by a woman as the earner. What y'all think? Y'all think 80 is like outrageous? I'm not saying the number's factual. I'm saying I don't think it's outrageous. I think it's closer to 80 than it is to 50.
Yeah, I grew up without a father, so it was certainly my damn reality. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no father in my house, so yeah, Laurier was the breadwinner in that mug. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really have no real retort to that.
All of the math says it.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, black men between 18 and 40% are unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the math in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know that data.
Mm-hmm.
The streets don't jump like that. Right? Everybody's not cracking cards.
Right.
How are you surviving? Right? I heard the little girl, the Uncle the Grave, that girl,
yeah.
She was doing an interview with somebody, and he was like, man, she was like, if you go to your parole officer, you getting patched. If you go to the laundromat, you getting patched. If you go to the corner store, you getting patched. And dude was like, well, everybody can't be just trapping like, out the crib. They got to be able to go somewhere. They got to go to work. She was like, no, it don't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, well, how do they survive? They was like, well, the baby mama go to work and he watch the kids because the baby mama see it as more valuable than at least you keeping up with the kid. I think that's the reality.
Mm-hmm.
I might be off. I'm asking if y'all got a different opinion. I think that's our reality.
Off the back, I feel like 80% is a little high. I'm trying to come up with a little, subset of data in my mind. But I guess it's difficult. I'm going to say no, that's a little high. But then it's like, how do you factor in the women that are single?
Yeah.
So then that kind of adds another layer.
I think that counts. I think that counts. So I would certainly say the majority, whether 80 is elevated, I would say it's probably elevated, but I would certainly say the majority, that's the case. I would certainly say that's the case. In for them,
kind of thinking more so like from a standpoint of a two-person household where there is a man and a woman in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When that's the case, I would say the 80% is high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about upholding a household.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're a single woman like myself, I'm maintaining my household on my own. So, you get what I mean?
I get.
But for those that are in a couple in a partnership, living under a roof together,
I don't know the data of that
might be a
particular
little
study,
high.
but I would imagine they threw all of it in there, and so that's what may elevate it up closer to 80.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't like factual, right? But out of the two partnered households that y'all know, what percentage y'all think the woman is the breadwinner?
Now I got to think through my two partnered households.
I would honestly say I wouldn't go 80. I would probably go around 70, 65 to 70. You know, because I've seen it. Because being an entrepreneur, I get to see a little more, and I see, as far as who going to work, who not going to work, who picking up the kids from school. You know what I mean? And when I was doing that, I saw a lot of men dropping off and picking up the kids from school because the women was probably at work.
Yeah.
And just because I be
because they're courteous and part of being a mother, the kid is just attached to you all the time, and that's a very mundane and redundant task to have to drop off and pick up the kids. So it's like a beautiful, beautiful thing to not have to worry about that part. So maybe they were just being generous.
I think that perspective is so fucking interesting to me. Because I think it's part of the fantastical imaginations that we have. But I'm saying this in love, right? Like, no, it's necessity. I don't know if y'all remember a few years ago.
The McDonald's thing.
When the little girl got killed in the back of the dude's car at McDonald's. And everybody's like, what kind of daddy is you? My first response to that was, that's what he has to do. She got to be with him. Because mama is making money. This was years ago. This was before the day, before we was even talking about this kind of conversation. Like, and I'm saying we live in this fantastical world. And I think people read me a lot of the wrong ways, right? And they think it's this anti-woman shit that we always say the woman hater shit. It's not. I'm saying we all are off fucking base and we're all off track. I think black men have failed. I also think the system has failed them, but when the system fails you, you got to fucking respond. And the only way to respond in said system is to separate yourself and build some shit of your own and anchor yourself into that because they've let you know you ain't fucking invited. And in this administration, you're getting a greater welcome. You really ain't invited. Even the motherfuckers of you who were earners before, you are no longer invited. Because our earnings came from mainly government shit. I keep telling y'all this. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get sidetracked.
Oh, you good.
But think about the fantasy of the response to the Ayisha Diaz conversation, right? And even how Joe Budden and them had the conversation. And then think about the culture of our communities. Their conversation was, man, she's made investments in herself to get that kind of money.
In her ass, you mean?
In her ass, and her titties, and her look, whatever it is, they legitimately make that argument. We laugh at that shit. But I saw some shit the other day that blew my motherfucking mind, right? And we look at that, but how many Keishas and Marias is making them same investments thinking they're going to get them kind of returns?
Yeah.
Right? I remember years, this might be 5-6 years ago, my little cousin was talking about girls with BBLs, and I was like, well, that ain't a thing in Chicago. I'm so goddamn ignorant.
Yeah.
Now, there are girls, and they in that world. They was like, nigga, you crazy. I know all kind of girls in the city that you know that got BBLs this, and I just don't know. I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my point is, they're making them investments under the same act. It's I'm going to get this, and this is going to yield this kind of investment or this kind of return. But the motherfuckers that you have to engage with can't even offer you that kind of return. Yeah. And it has no value. The motherfuckers paying Ayisha Diaz don't value her. They want to fuck.
I feel you on the value piece of that. All right. That's what I was saying about, like, why do you devalue my time or my presence so much that you feel like I need to pay to be in your presence or spend time with you? You know what I'm saying? How is that somehow not an even exchange? But it's because you don't value me. And so if you make it about, if you want me to just pay for it, I don't value you like that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, no more than I pay for you. And then I feel the same way about my gym shoes. You know what I'm saying? I value them as much as I pay for them. And other than that, they don't really mean shit to my life. You know what I'm saying? I pull them out the closet or a box and put them on my feet and go on about my business. And then I throw them back in the closet.
And to me, this goes back to the same conversation about entertainment and education. It really do to me, right? I wanted to look for this shit while you was talking because I wanted to pull this up. And because it ain't really a black conversation, it's an American conversation.
Yeah, it's definitely
But just like anything else, when you're at the bottom, shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
And it becomes aggressive at the bottom. Right.
Yeah. And it's more damaging at the bottom to a society who can't really uphold that standard any fucking way.
Right. So somebody sent me this the other day. It says highest earning jobs in the top 10 economies countries.
Okay.
Right. In the United States, guess what the highest earning job is in the United States of America? As a group, as a field.
I don't know.
OnlyFans creators.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now check out the next fucking 9.
Mm-hmm.
China, tech executives. Germany, specialist physicians.
Mm-hmm.
Japan, surgeon. India, AI engineer. The UK, investment banker. France, surgeon. Italy, specialist physician. Canada, software engineer. Brazil, surgeon. That shows you where our value system is.
That shows you where our investments have been made. They haven't been invested there.
But again, it's the same thing.
We've been seeing that in 3rd and 5th grade test scores for years.
And Brazil is surgeons because of the
Because of
OnlyFans
Americans
and because of the
that.
BBLs and the
Dumb.
That's a wild business.
Right? We keep championing dumb though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you it affects every portion of our lives though. Right? It affects how we relate to one another. Again, right? I don't care what motherfuckers say. I agree with Imani when he brought that shit to the Joe Budden show. And it was really interesting to me. I don't know if they was acting because it's a show. I don't know. Maybe that was their entertainment portion.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're that far disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They've lived in the rapper life and the lifestyle and the club so much that they think this shit is normal. Mm-hmm. And Imani was saying, y'all got this shit fucked up. I'm out here dating these women and this is what they think is supposed to happen.
Yeah, no, it's a different time, and you talk about that transactional style, and you talk about the data, and you know who's breadwinner in the households and all that. It's strange. Like P was talking about being an entrepreneur. For me, I experienced the ebbs and flows of being an entrepreneur. Right, I experienced the highs, and like sometimes it's a great quarter or a great couple of quarters, and then it's like a terrible quarter. It's like for my partners, that means like, well, for a minute, we cool. Everything is this, and I got that, and then it's like, well, this quarter was super fucked up, and I went straight into the red on every endeavor that I got going on. It's like, well, now you got more money than me, and it's like that ebb and flow is a real fucking thing. And if you don't even have that going on, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying?
So be clear though, right? I'm condemning us as a group. I am doing that, right? I'm not pulling no punches. I'm condemning us as a group, as a group of black people, and specifically as a group of men. I'm condemning us, right? Partially part of the problem why those ebbs and flows affect you the way they do is because as a group, we've not built anything. People do business with people that they like and have relation with. So as an entrepreneur, just like you, me too, it's I can say out my mouth openly, and I've done fairly well as an entrepreneur in most of my life. But I can say openly out my life, I've never gotten a check from anybody that wasn't a black person. And what I mean when I say that is, don't mean I ain't got it from a white company, white institution. It was ultimately white money. But it came through the lens of a black hand. Mm-hmm. If we ain't built shit, how many black hands can I touch? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
So I told somebody this the other day, man. I said when I first came home from school, like as a designer, black designers don't really exist. They really didn't exist then.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm good. And I know I'm good. Right? But I'm not being offered opportunities in the job market. I got to go create them because you ain't going to hire me. Right? And it got so egregious that I start, because I'm good with my mouth in a lot of ways too, I start bringing opportunities to companies to see I have value beyond the art. Yeah. I could bring you business, motherfucker, hire me, because I can't consistently get clients like you can. Right? Because there's nobody else as me as a service industry can provide to a black business because you don't fucking exist.
I can dig it, man.
But hear what I'm saying. All of this shit is circular. Because there's a condition in place there too. Because the expectation of provision and protection from a man is to be a earner.
Right.
Right? But
meanwhile, being starved out of
math if you've not built a entity. And what we do is we expect that one man to build that entity. And the entity is always group. Right. The entity is always group. Right. And when you don't get that, the woman looks at him as he's lesser. Because that is the very essence of you, provision and protection. And the man can be doing all, and I'm not praising no fucking men because it is on you to build. It is on you to build, right? But if you don't, those of us trying, matter of fact, we're outcasted.
Yeah.
The niggas trying to build some shit is outcasted.
And this will be my last point on it. Even the way we go about building is, you talk about entities, right? Separate individual entities. And what I'm saying is, and to your point, we have to be in the mindset of building industry, building an ecosystem that can continue to feed everybody within said ecosystem, not individual pursuits of separate entities. And that is how you can build an actual ecosystem, an actual industry, to where you can continuously bump into brothers and sisters that have and are willing to help you, and y'all can work together. I got this, you got that. We offer something to each other, and we grow and elevate as a unit. I don't know if it's the pressure or the ego or the whatever creates this desire for us to go off into these separate pursuits. And I think that, as much as anything, hinders our overall development.
Again, I'm going to relate this back to entertainment and information, though, how we view the two, right? Jesse just passed away last week. I was on I was in a conversation online today with a younger sister, and she had some disparaging comments about Jesse. And it was around the context of, man, this is what it's been. I'm sure y'all have seen this. He called us African American, and he kept his Native American lineage so he could get a check. Have y'all seen that? This is a pervasive conversation, right? In my mind, I want to say, one, that's fucking silly. But also I want to say, even if that was true, what does that fucking matter? Even if it's true, I don't believe it's true at all. It don't even make sense. But what does make sense is, part of the black entertainment conversation these days is, what's FBA mean, and am I FBA or are you not? Right? Because we ain't even digging into the value of what it means to be FBA. We just doing it because it separates us and it's something to talk about.
Foundational Black American.
So I tell her, I said, man, if not for Jesse Jackson, and we got to understand the value of Chicago, I said, if not for Jesse Jackson, black business in Chicago would be nearly non-existent. That is a fucking factual statement. Right? I told y'all, previous to Jesse Jackson dying, I'm in Operation Push sitting with him, and somebody walked in and said, hey man, can you help me write a decree? When the dude leaves, Jesse said, Tou, you know when the last decree got made 30 years ago, you know who did it? Me. Them motherfuckers ain't been to see me since then. They ain't built the ecosystem we're talking about, but then the motherfucker who does, we degrade them. Because we don't have the information, and what we respond to is what another motherfucker says about it because we're not vested. So Ayisha Diaz says, I need 40 bands, and because it's alluring or it looks one way, we just align ourselves with it, not knowing the cost. Respectfully, I'm bringing this shit up, and we never really spoke about this shit, but I'm kind of tired of the energy. Right? Jamal Green comes on this motherfucking show, takes a clip. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm bringing this shit up on purpose.
Okay.
He has a larger platform than us. Partially why he has a larger platform than us is because he gets sponsored by white dollars of motherfuckers who want power in this city. He's been getting sponsored by white dollars who want power in this city. Right? The motherfucker accused us of taking money while taking money. And because he has the larger platform and he's entertaining, it's believable. My point is, we got to start doing the fucking work. As men, we got to start standing on something of value. And in some real shit, women got to be able to see what real value is. Because more than anything, we do it for one another. More than anything, we do it for one another.
I open the show every single episode, and I say, collectively, more important than individually. And I don't just be spewing words. I choose those words in the opening for a reason. I think that very much matters, but I also think it just goes in one ear and right out the other because most often we don't move that way. We got to move on. We got to wrap this show up soon. Before we get into this Hip Hop Moguls conversation, I do want to say congratulations to Ryan Coogler, to Michael B. Jordan, to the entire cast of the movie Sinners. They took home hella awards at NAACP Image Awards and also at the SAG-AFTRA Awards. Michael B. Jordan got like Best Male Actor of the Year, and the movie got Best Cast and Best Film, and all the shit that it deserved, all the shit that everybody who watched movies last year understood that was the movie. But oftentimes those things get overlooked. I got to give a shout out to Viola Davis and Samuel L. Jackson, who at the SAG-AFTRA Awards, which is largely white situation, announced the winners of those two particular awards, and the joy and the exuberance on their face and in their voice as they announced the winners of that thing was super, super dope. These two older actors, happy to see this younger, knowing the value of that, having gone through their careers and understanding how many times we've been looked over or whatever for such awards, to see the likes of Ryan Coogler, a young director who's super dope and done tons of dope things, and a young actor like Michael B. Jordan to get those accolades. Super, super dope. They deserved it, number one. But number two, it was cool to see him get it. It was also interesting watching the different energy of those two awards. The NAACP Image Awards and the SAG-AFTRA Awards.
What would you mean? Because I ain't seen none of it.
The person who personified it most to me was Tiana Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Our baby who P hates on.
Whatever P said.
P be hating on her.
What? She looked like her daddy.
He must be very, very cute.
Right. Gorgeous fellow he is.
Gorgeous fellow he is. deep in the closet.
Okay. It wasn't just her, but it definitely was her. Like, she was like putting on at the SAG-AFTRA Awards in a way in a room full of white people that felt over the top for me, and it was like, I just don't like this type of energy. But even the way everybody dressed at the NAACP Awards versus how they dressed to the SAG-AFTRA Awards, it was just a different thing altogether. And I get it. When we around us, we more comfortable, we more relaxed, we just doing us. When we get around a whole bunch of white people, it's not quite as comfortable, and we kind of, our energy can shift if we're not very intentional about not allowing it to shift. Mm-hmm. But you can just kind of see it in a lot of those things. But when Samuel L. Jackson and Viola Davis opened those cards, it was like your auntie and uncle just super proud. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can
see a clip or something.
It was just super, super dope. So shout out to them. I think they, like I said, they deserved it. They got it. Super, super dope.
And real quick, because you brought up Tiana, Shump got an interview with Shannon Sharp. I advise everybody to go watch. Shump is great being interviewed, G.
He saw him talking about LeBron.
Which part?
He was talking about how LeBron is just soft. He was like, we play like a team with two bigs, and we've been running a certain set all year long to take advantage of this. LeBron said, "No, we going horns. We're gonna bring those two bigs up here because I'm not going down there to get hit by them every play." He was like, Mike and them was going down there against the Pistons and Kobe. Like, anyway,
he also praised Bron too, but it just was a great interview though.
Bron deserves praise and criticism. It's a both and conversation.
Yeah, I'm not a Bron fan, but I think that the Shump interview though, outside of even basketball talk, it was a great conversation.
Shout out to Shump. He's from the crib. Yeah. Last thing before we get out of here, man, hip hop moguls, and I mean specifically a certain generation of them. Right, the ones that were born in the right time, into the game at the right time.
Are there any outside of that generation?
That's a good point. I'm talking about that entering the mid '90s into the 2000s. The Master P's, the Diddy's, the Dre's, the Jermaine Dupri's, the Dame Dashes, that group, Birdman, that group of them, all very close in age, and all hit the music industry and hip hop scene when there was money to be made from it, and it was exploding as an industry. Shout out to them. I'm not taking nothing away from them, but when you arrive matters, and they arrived at the right time to do it.
Yeah, they were all born like in 3 years, 2 years of each other.
Yeah. That being said, Dame Dash, who at this point is one of the most
Controversial.
Controversial, critiqued. The word I'm looking for is escaping me right now, but he's kind of looked at as the one that fell off, right? Mm-hmm. And he's doing an interview recently. He's like, I'm the last one standing. He's like, I look around and Diddy is in jail. He said, Herb Gotti is dead. Clark Kent, a couple others are dead. He mentioned people like Chris Lighty killing himself. DMX dead. Jay-Z is in the files, he said. All of these types of situations. And he like, I'm the last one left. Now, there is still Jermaine Dupri, there's Birdman, there's Dr. Dre. Not to say that they are without their own shit that has come up about them. Whether you talk about Dre as a, spousal abuser, or you talk about Birdman as a Lil Wayne deep in the closet, although they kiss in the mouth publicly. It's weird. Whatever, right? Dame Dash says, I'm the last one really standing. And every time you see me, I'm having fun. I'm out on the lake. I'm chilling with my wife, with my kids. I'm doing me. And by other metrics, people say he the one that fell off. Jay's a billionaire. Diddy's a big, whatever. Dame like, I'm really that nigga. Everybody else, nobody else made it except me. And you look at what he's talking about, and there's some validity to his comments.
So I'll say this. Dame made that whole post just to be petty and hate on Jay.
Hey, Jay. Oh, yeah.
Right? And I appreciate that level of petty.
He didn't even use his name.
Right?
Yeah, homie in the files.
Homie in the files. And after he named everybody that was dead, he did that in like a 1-30-second clip.
Why would you say Chris Lighty killed himself?
The entire rest of that 5-minute interview or conversation was about homie in the files. That's where he stayed once he got there. He could. It made his soul smile to get to say that.
He ain't stopped smiling since Jay's name was leaked in the files.
Right. So, to your point, though, there is a level of validity there. I used to always say Dame was my favorite because I always saw Dame as integrous in a space where you don't see very much integrity. And I guess at some level I got like some empathy, right? After 20 years or so, 10 years or so, how many years or so of just getting doo-dooed on by everybody.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you just force yourself or have to react. I think in some of those reactions, he's played himself a lot of times.
You played
know
yourself.
What I mean? Sometimes I think you just got to let go and let God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to the point, though, that he made, I think it goes with the rest of our conversation. Like, at some level, you got to start understanding where real value lies. Right? And again, the people who played him are judging him from outside the arena, right? You don't got $1 billion like Jay, so obviously you ain't shit. Nobody knows Dame in real life. Who's making these judgments? Nobody knows Jay in real life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's making these judgments? So you don't know which one of those lifestyles are better.
Right.
But from the judgment standpoint, we're putting the emphasis on
the bottom line is money.
The bottom line is the cash. That's it.
I thought it was interesting when Dame was talking and he's like, listen, I knew it was some foul shit going on, but it was way more foul than I even thought. Like, it was worse than I could even imagine. He was like, I knew it was young girls, but I didn't know it was that young. And I think when he's talking about I knew it was young, but I didn't know it was that young, he's one, referring to Beyonce like you always do, but two,
or Foxy Brown, or any one of them.
Foxy Brown, and also Aaliyah, which they both was fucking, Dame and Jay. So, like, there's the young I can accept, and then there's...
But in this moment, I just want to be petty.
Young or young? You know how black people double on the word for emphasis? You hungry or you hungry? Mm-hmm. I'm tired. Like, that kind of shit. Young. Like, he was petty.
He was just being petty, man. But even with him being petty,
again,
though,
there's some validity.
There's some validity to it, right?
I think he was bogus for talking about Chris Lighty committing suicide, but whatever.
And I don't think it was to shun Chris Lighty or to berate him.
Just to say I'm the last one standing.
Just to say, like, look at what this space does to you.
Right. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? Look at what this space does.
I've dealt with the pressures and the scrutiny, and I'm still here.
I'm still here.
And everybody else is either in jail, dead, or
in the files.
in the files.
Yeah.
In the files.
Right? And I don't think the space is music. I think the space is money.
It's definitely the fame and the money that eats away at these people, at their moral fiber, at their values, and at what it is they are or not willing to do. I rock with Dame for some of the things he stands for and some of the things he stands on. Some of the shit with Dame I don't rock with. But I don't think he's entirely wrong on this piece. So shout out to Dame, man.
I mean, the man punched Harvey Weinstein in the face. I respect that.
Yeah?
Right? The man is on video shunning Lyle Cohen. I love that.
Leo,
however you say it, I don't give a shit. Right?
Sure.
But
he ran up on Lee Daniels.
Right? But also invested in Lee Daniels when nobody else would.
That's why he ran up on Lee Daniels.
But think about that.
Yeah.
Right? The ecosystem of building. I'm going to help you, brother.
And then you get on and run off.
The motherfucking devil, Harvey Weinstein, I'm going to punch him in his face.
Yeah.
But as the artist, I don't like you punching white men in the face, so I'm going to back up off you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you stressing Lyle Cohen out, so I'm going to back up off you.
Mm-hmm.
But all of these people have shown themselves to be demons to our culture. But we praise the nigga who grazes their balls.
I can respect it. We got to go. I was about to shout out somebody else really, really fast, and in 2 seconds, it escaped me.
Salute to them. Salute to E with acai bowl. Y'all come through, slide.
Pull up to Lily Pads Acai. It is on the corner of 43rd and Cottage Grove. The exact address is 4256 South Cottage Grove. It sits on the northwest corner of 43rd and Cottage Grove. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Pull up. It is officially open. If you are hearing this, if you are seeing this, the grand open has taken place. Pull up. Support, support, support. It is black owned. It is woman owned. It is dopely owned. Dope products, dopely ran. Welcome,
Bigly,
to Acai.
So many reasons.
Financial reasons. Mental health reasons. Pull up.
Pull up.
Pull up, pull up, pull up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this edition of Herb and Tou. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Please make sure that you share the video. Make sure that you like the video. Leave some comments. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Set the alerts so you get reminders every time we drop new content. Huge shout out to P.I. doing all of the hard work behind the camera. If you are not in tune with Culture Seller, you need to be in tune with the Culture Seller. They're at the forefront of all things production, editing, and they got their finger on the pulse of the streets.
So many reasons.
Mental health reasons.
Financial reasons.
That wonderful young lady is E4O. We like to call her Momager because that's what she is and that's what she does. For Tou, I'm Herb. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Salam alaikum.